One of the questions that we frequently get asked is, what kind of material should I use with different kinds of material tubing? What kind of material fittings and ferrules should be used on stainless steel or on copper tubing? Generally, we like to suggest that you keep like materials with like materials. So you would use stainless steel ferrules and stainless steel fitting on stainless steel tubing. On copper tubing, you'd use brass ferrules and brass fittings. On plastic, you'd want to make sure that you always use plastic. The reason for this is that you want to make sure that the ferrules are stronger than the tubing that you're using. The purpose of the ferrules is to swage onto the tubing, and they lock into place. As you see here, the ferrules are permanently in place. If the ferrules are softer than the tubing, then you're not going to get that swaging action. So if you're using stainless steel tubing and brass ferrules and fittings, the brass is going to be softer than the stainless steel, and you won't get the full swaging action that you would get if you used like material with like material. Stainless on stainless, brass on copper and tubing. There are times when you don't want the swaging action of the ferrules. You don't want them to lock into place. Say, for instance, you're using a thermocouple or some other sensor probe, and you want to insert the probe into a process line, but you don't want to lock the ferrules into place because you want to be able to remove that sensor probe. Or you're using glass tubing and you're afraid that hard metal ferrules will fracture the glass, then you want to consider using plastic. In this particular case, you might want to consider using Teflon as your front ferrule because it's the most chemically compatible, and perhaps nylon as a back ferrule. Nylon is actually a little stronger than Teflon and helps to deform the front ferrule. The front ferrule is going to be the only wetted ferrule, so it's the only one that's actually going to see the process, so Teflon would make a good material for that. The nylon would be the back ferrule and help to deform that. And in that case, when you tighten it down, then you get a nice seal onto the tubing, but you're not fully swaging the ferrules onto the tubing, and you're able to actually pull it back out again. In summary, we would suggest that you try to use like materials with like materials. Stainless ferrules and fittings with stainless tubing, brass fittings and ferrules with copper tubing, plastic fittings and ferrules with plastic tubing. That way you don't have any problem with dissimilar materials fighting each other, and you can always be assured that your ferrules are going to swage your tubing.